Umuulan na naman ng mga splash-resistant phone. And probably ang dami nyo nakita mga influencer na binabasa ang kanilang Honor X7C. Itong phone na ito is IP64 rated and it has a certain level of dust and water resistance. There's a 6,000 mAh of battery, fast charge up to 35 watts. Meron siyang 108MP na dual rear camera. And itong phone na ito is priced below 9,000 pesos. And I'll tell you in this video, this is more than just a splash-resistant phone. Pag-usapan natin. Now, itong Honor X7C na may 8 plus 8 gigs of RAM and 256GB of storage is currently priced at 8,999, which I'll tell you na wala siya naging price increase sa Honor X7B. More details on the description box below. Now, pag-usapan natin ang design nitong phone na ito. Ang likod ng Honor X7C feels like a leatherette design. Well, since leatherette, wala kang makitang fingerprint smudges dito sa likod. Andito ang kanyang camera module, which I love dito sa kanya is that flat siya. Wala kang makitang mga rings dito sa kanya. So, it's just a very simple design. Sa ilalim, nandiyan pa nga ng audio jack, which is definitely a bonus. And meron din siyang side fingerprint scanner dito sa gilid. Hindi naman kakapalangan ng bezel dito sa gilid, except siguro sa ilalim. And it also has a hybrid SIM. So, either you go for dalawang nano SIM na 4G or isang micro SD plus isang 4G na nano SIM. Grip sa aking kamay feels okay. Solid na solid naman paghawak ko dito sa kanya. Now, one of the highlights dito sa phone na ito is that this is an IP64 rated na phone. Ang daming mo makita siguro mga splash test na ibang mga influencer. And nakita ko sa mga comments, no, tanong ni Kimberly, as in pwede siya ilubog sa water like mga swimming pools. Well, to answer you, Kimberly, this is a splash resistant phone. IP64 siya. So, I wouldn't recommend you to dunk this inside a swimming pool, which probably you might mistakenly this is a water-resistant phone, but this is a splash-resistant phone. And there are some phones na IP68 and IP69 rated pag ginawa mo siya underwater camera and nagkakaroon ng fog sa kanyang camera lenses. What more, a IP64. And of course, a quick word of reminder na interview ko si City Light Philippines, which is the official service center ng Honor Philippines. Water and physical damage, automatically void ang inyong warranty. It's nice to have a IP64 rating kung let's say umuulan, biglang nabasa yung phone, or kung naglalakad ka na bigla nahulog to sa pile of water, okay lang. You can immediately wipe off yung kanyang tubig. It will be okay. But intentionally or unintentionally nilublob mo sa tubig, automatically void ang warranty, lalo na kung nabasa ang iyong motherboard. So ako naman, personally, tinest ko naman to para sa inyo, para makita ninyo IP64 rated ito. And I intentionally, binasa ko naman siya sa swimming pool. Hindi ko naman siya dinang sa swimming pool, pero din-results ko siya ng tubig several times, and it was able to survive. Wala maging problema. Dahil IP64 rated, yung kanyang splash resistance, kaya-kaya naman handle. Just don't try it kung hindi kinakailangan. Now, itong phone na ito is being powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 685. I know it's nothing new, it's an old chip, and well, basically, ang hanap mo naman dito sa phone na ito is more of a daily driver. It can get you through everything, multitasking, socials, kaya-kaya naman na handle. And it was able to give me 256,000 points dito sa AnTuTu benchmark. And ito ang kanyang breakdown score. 138 ang kanyang loop score and 97% ang kanyang stability dito sa Wildlife Extreme. Okay naman kanyang throttling test and it throttled to 80% ang kanyang best performance. Ito ang score na nakuha ko sa Geekbench of kanyang CPU benchmarking. Ito ang GPU benchmarking. Now, another highlight dito sa phone is that this has a 6,000 mAh of battery, which is for me is pretty solid. And yung weight niya is around mga nasa 190 grams, which for me is not so bad kasi nilagyan nila ng malaking battery inside. And this one supports a 35 watts of fast charging, which I would say na it's pretty fast for its price point. Charging itong phone na ito from 0 to 100 takes roughly mga an hour and 20 minutes. And nung niran kong battery stress test dito sa PCMark na app, it was able to give me a 22 hours and 34 minutes na screen on time. This is based on 50% brightness and 60 Hz na screen refresh rate. I would say sobrang kunat ng battery nito phone na ito. And did you know nung ginamit ko to as my daily driver, kaya na mag-handle ng 2 days na walang patayan itong phone na ito. Solid, di ba? Now, this phone has a 6.77-inch na TFT na LCD display with 120Hz of screen refresh rate and maximum brightness niya is 850 nits. And this one can only display up to 720p na video resolution. There are some occasions na sobrang liwanag ng araw yung tanghaling tapat and tinatry ko gamitin itong phone na ito. There are times na medyo nahirapan ako konti viewing videos on this phone dahil this is a TFT LCD, not a IPS LCD. But of course, syempre kung nasa indoor ka or nasa shaded area ka, if you're browsing through your socials like Facebook, Twitter, or sa TikTok, expect mo naman okay ka ng browsing experience. Wala kang maging problema dito as long as you have a good internet connection. If you're viewing videos naman dito sa YouTube, expect to give you a good experience. Just don't expect na makakuha ka ng AMOLED display na experience, but overall, the viewing experience is not so bad. Now, this phone only has one loud firing speaker dito sa ilalim, plus meron siyang audio jack na kasama. And ang pinipindot ko ng volume, kaya na sumagat up to 300% ng kanyang volume, which tetest natin right now. Well, honestly, kahit umabot pa siya ng 300%, I would say it's average, not so bad. Na naglaro tayo ng 3 games dito sa phone na ito and I played Honor of Kings, Call of Duty Mobile, and Farlight 84. Now sa Honor of Kings, I would say na setting to a lower graphical settings, it will give you a smooth gaming experience. Nothing too awesome naman sa ng gameplay, but I would say na it can get you through this game. Expect mo na there will be some occasional lags along the way dahil this is just a 685 ni Snapdragon, and after playing for 30 minutes, you get roughly mga 41 degrees Celsius ang kanyang init. Now pagdating naman sa Call of Duty Mobile, makakuha ka naman ng good gaming experience dito sa kanya, setting into yung kanyang recommended na gaming settings. Now, honestly, okay naman ang kanyang gameplay. I have no problem sa kanya and smooth naman ang gameplay dito sa Call of Duty Mobile. And there are just occasionally na frame drops kung naglalaro ka ng mga VR matches, lalo kung medyo nagbabakbakan kayo on a certain point, you'll feel some lags along the way. Lalo kung nagsa-sniper scope, mapapansin parang medyo pigil siya konti, but it's nothing really serious dito sa game na ito. Yung kanyang touch response is good, the sounds is just average, nothing really special, and pinakamainit na inabot ko dito is around mga 42 degrees Celsius. Now, iba namang usapan pagdating sa Farlight 84, medyo nahirapan ng game na ito, and setting it to the lowest graphical settings, mafe-feel mo pa rin ang lags along the way. And for the first 50 minutes, may slight lag ka mafe-feel. Pero kung pag tumatagal ang laro mo, medyo mas nagiging heavy ang mga lags dito sa kanya. E pinakamainit na naabot ko dito sa kanya is around 45 degrees Celsius. Now, pag-usapan natin quickly ang kanyang camera. This one has a 108MP na main camera sensor and it also has a 2MP na depth sensor. It can shoot you up to 1080p and 30fps. Ang kanyang harap is a 8MP na front-facing camera which can also shoot you up to 1080p and 30fps. Okay, so tingnan natin some outdoor shot na nakuha natin dito sa Honor X7C. So, I would say na taking some of this outdoor shot ain't that bad. And honestly, sharp naman ang mga photos na nakuha ko. Except pag zoom in mo, makita mo medyo mas soft na siya as compared sa hindi naka-zoom. But taking a look at some of this flower shot, makita mo talaga there are details preserved sa mga flowers na nakuha natin, and even the tiniest details nakikita pa rin naman. And I honestly love itong pagka-purple nito. There are some other cameras that would hardly replicate itong color na ito, but kaya naman ni Honor X7C. And yung green niya, a little bit saturated, but hindi naman OA yung kanyang pagka-saturation. Na kung hilig mo naman is indoor photography, kahit medyo low light, kaya naman mag-perform itong camera ni Honor X7C, and I was able to take in some nice snaps dito sa mga figurines, sa mga Christmas lights, and yeah, honestly, these are some really nice shots na nakuha natin from the indoor condition dito sa kanyang camera. And mostly nakuha ko lately ay mga Christmas decors, and I would say even low light, this was still able to perform. Not so bad sa kanyang camera performance. And even taking some portrait shot like this one, and trying to take some low light shot like this one na medyo cozy, it looks good, and though hindi lang naman siya ganun ka-stand out, but not so bad ang kanang shot. And taking some portrait shot dito, I would say maganda ka ng pagka-focus naman sa mga ilaw. And trying to take some figure shot dito, ito honestly, I was surprised sa ganda rin ng ganang color. Though it's a little bit warmer yellow tint, but overall the color ain't that bad. Pati ito mga shot nakuha ko dito sa mga figures like Spider-Man, mga Disney princesses, okay naman mga shots. And to be honest, itong mga food shot na nakuha ko, even though na medyo low light, okay naman. Not so bad, but hindi lang ganun ka-stand out. Itong mga food shot na nakuha ko. And nung roughly magsi-6 na, medyo madilim na, it was able to enhance din ang mga photos na kinuha ko using this camera for night photography. And if you're using this camera for selfies, not bad kind of selfie
selfie camera. Though hindi lang siya ganun ka-sharp, but I would say na not so bad kasi kaya naman niya linisin ang mga pimples ko. I'm trying some low light selfie. I would say na medyo mapapansin, medyo mas softer shade na siya. Medyo nawawala ng mga details. But pag hindi mo naman siya zoom, hindi mo lang naman siya masyado mahalata. If you're using yung front-facing camera na to take a vlog, I would say na, well, medyo nag-iibang ka ng color from cool to warm, ang pansin ko and medyo a little bit shaky din siya. That's based sa aking observation. If you're using naman your rear camera na while you're walking, medyo matagtag din siya. Though the resolution ain't that bad, pero nakakahilo lang when you're walking. Siguro kailangan mo ng tripod or gimbal.
Now, priced at $8,999, should you buy this phone? If you're looking for a daily driver na phone and yung hanap mo is reliability, lalo na if you're the type of person na lagi nasa outdoor and biglang nababasa ang iyong phone unintentionally or intentionally, this is definitely a phone that you should buy. For me, it's better than the Honor X7B with no price increase, and I personally love yung kanyang design dito sa likod, lalo na kanyang camera module. So if you want to know kung saan na pwede mabili itong phone na ito, I'll link everything on the description box below. And if you like this video, don't forget to share it to your friends. And sub to this channel is definitely awesome. I'll see you in the next one. And so, ako para si Richmond, and you're watching Gadget Sidekick. Like and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. For one of my latest uploads, click the dito. And for one of my popular uploads, click here.